Carving wood spirits has a long history. Typically, the appearance is that of an older bearded male, and these carvings were believed to bring luck and protection. Fortunately, the art and craft are still with us, and these faces appear commonly in contemporary carving. This introduction is followed by a four-part demonstration of carving a wood spirit. Three carving tools are used in this demonstration: a 3/16 inch number 11 sweep gouge, a 3/16 inch 45-degree V tool, and a medium-sized detail carving knife. The size of these tools was chosen because of the relatively small diameter of the carving material. As the material increases in size, the size of the tools used should also increase. For example, the material I'm carving in this demonstration is a 1 1/8 inch dowel. If this dowel was 1.5 inches, I would use a 1/4 inch gouge and V tool rather than 3/16 inch. The wood I am using to carve this is a 1 1/8 inch diameter poplar dowel, 12 inches long. One of the common applications for this type of carving is walking sticks. The carved or upper end of the stick could be as large as 1.5 inches. The type of wood could also be almost anything. For practice carvings and small pieces, I would recommend something with close grain and relatively soft, like basswood, poplar, or tupelo. I use green wood from cut saplings when actually preparing a walking stick, then cure the wood after carving. I wear a carving glove on my offhand and thumb guard on my carving hand for safety. I rest the piece on the hard surface of a bench hook, but still need to hold it with my offhand. This carving is small enough that the sharp end of the tool is often in close proximity with the steadying hand. Without the glove, that hand would constantly be covered in cuts and bandages. Sharpening. This is a shot of strops and whetstones that I use to keep blades sharp. This particular carving is normally quick enough that I don't need to sharpen during a single session. My rule of thumb is to strop every 20 to 30 minutes of tool use. The only time I use the whetstone is when a tool has been dulled to the point where stropping doesn't restore its razor edge. This series does not include a sharpening demonstration. I will record that in a standalone video someday soon. For beginners, I feel obligated to point out that even though the sharpening is not shown in this demonstration, it is a crucial and absolutely necessary part of carving. Carving with a dull knife is both unnecessarily difficult and dangerous. There are some other items that you will see in the demonstration. Starting on the left and working my way to the right, the first item is a ruler. I use this for marking proportions of the face. The next item is dividers. I use these because most of the distances that define facial proportions are equal in size. The next item is a hard white eraser to clean up pencil marks. And the last is a 2B art pencil for making the carving marks. The board that these things are resting on is called a bench hook, and I use it to rest and brace small pieces when I am not holding them. These three diagrams represent the proportions that I use when carving a wood spirit. Measurements are based on the diameter of the stick being carved. Determine what 2/3 of the diameter of the dowel is. That is the distance used to make most of the marks shown on the left-hand diagram. First, draw a very light vertical line up the middle of the dowel. Make the first mark about 1.5 inches from the top of the dowel. It marks the hairline. The second, third, and fourth marks will be measured using that initial calculation. In other words, 2/3 the diameter of the stick. The second mark is the top of the eye sockets and bridge of nose. The third is the bottom tip of the nose. The fourth marks the end of the hairline and chin. The proper way to draw these lines and when to draw them during the carving is shown in the demonstrations. There are two more significant proportional measures. The first is illustrated in the middle diagram. 2/3 of the distance down the nose is the point where wings of the nose and facial creases form. The second measure relates to the eyes and bridge of nose. The distance across each eye is the same as the distance across the bridge of the nose between the eyes. These proportions are used in the demonstrations to mark and draw carving lines on the piece. I mention them here to emphasize how the measurement of proportions were derived. As a cross-check for facial features, balance, and appropriate size, the bottom outside corners of the nose should be directly beneath the pupils of the eyes as shown in the right-hand diagram.